You've chosen the presentation for Topic 7, Computer-Based Costing. It's a part of the subject Building Industry Contracts. Computers have increasingly been used for several years now as a part of the preparation and for estimating for buildings, assets and bills of quantities. From this subject, the aim is to ensure that you have an understanding how computer-based modelling tools can assist and fit into the preparation of project costing, estimating and administration, and also how to recognise the types of various computer measuring and costing applications that are on the market at the moment and the benefits associated with using them. Get too far into the topic, let's just summarise some of the course information. In regards to if you have questions, please contact me. You can contact me via email or via the Q&A forum. You can also use the discussion forum and discuss topic issues with other students. Be very clear about assessment submission dates, as well as the presentation and assessment format required in this subject. I also need to stress that this PowerPoint presentation is a summary only of the study guide and the course material. It's not meant to replace the study guide, the reading and the course reading. There's a difficulty always with any type of software, and when evaluating software to be used for preparation of bills of quantities and estimates, you need to consider what was the intended use of the software. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of software on the market today that claims to be a complete suite. It does programming, it does invoices, it does everything. The software that we're looking at with this particular subject is generally construction estimating software. And so that's the intention of what it's to be used for. The other thing is who's using it. So you want to consider construction estimating software that's actually being used primarily by builders, contractors and similar industry professionals. I've used several construction estimating programs over the year and quite often find similar products, you know, where the software is developed primarily and originally for construction estimating, and then they develop some features afterwards that makes the data be able to reused again and again. And these are good packages. So these estimating software packages then also can be used for assistance with administration, as well as programming and some components of construction administration. What type of software we're considering for any type of work application? Construction costing and estimating software is no different. It's very expensive for the initial outlay, and there's several things you need to consider. What type of sales support are they going to provide you? Is there really a help desk as such? What type of platforms? Is it going to be redundant when it moves to Windows 8 from Windows XP to Windows? Can you use it on Apple Mac? These type of things. Is it networkable? Can you have more than one or two people in an office, or you know? And even now, can you use it in the cloud? Is there licensing agreements? Is licensing going to be a problem? Do you need to pay that every year? Security of your data. Is it a solid vendor? Is it someone that's has no intention of being in the industry a couple of years from now, or has it been around for a while and being used already by several large contracting firms? Compatibility. Is it compatible with existing contract administration and industry type software that's being used? Updates. The updates are going to happen when they're required, when you move up different types of computer platforms and so forth. Output options, very important to CSV, to Excel, into formats that you can readily email and interchange with each other. What type of training would they offer to new people and to yourself? And that might even be a knowledge base online as well, or a web link webinar sort of arrangement. And as I said earlier, industry usage. Is it the type of software that's considered capable and appropriate in most larger construction companies? Are they using it in governments as well? And also the capacity to manage data. It's often a problem where the data packages in some type of software erroneous, far too large. You need massive amounts of hard drive or cloud space storage to actually even store the data that comes out of some software. The real advantages of estimating software is the fact that you can do the taking off, which is your measurement, and all your extrapolation of information, measures, volumes, and so forth, as well as all your descriptions in the software. At the same time, it's already doing the working up. So as you're measuring, it's actually doing those calculations for you. And also at the same time, you're basically producing a bill and you're able to edit. And some of them even have their built-in edit functions as well. And it's also a useful point to consider what additional functions software can provide you with. Software out there in the marketplace at the moment offer several options. One of them is a digitizer, which is like a pen kind of instrument that you can run around the outline of different shapes, different parts of buildings, different floor areas and that type of thing, and also measure up earthworks. So without even getting out a scale rule, you can set measurement and push that directly into the program. Other useful additional features might be mobile usage of the data. Here we're showing an old-fashioned style Palm Pilot, but Palm Pilots, phones, iPads, those type of pieces of equipment now and computer devices and mobile devices are extremely useful, whether it be passing the information and data output is extremely important. As I said earlier, one of the outputs that is often extremely helpful is Excel and CSV format. And that could be a number of different things. It could be for claims, variations, tender analysis, analysis with previous components of quantities, whatever it might be. The outputs as a cost plan, so a high-level estimate that you can use to, again, use to compare the estimate and quantities with other buildings. It might just be a labour and material breakup that you want as an output, trade by trade breakup, depending on how you're building the building or how the building's contract's being let. Trade summaries as well are often very useful, both for cash flow, both for noting where the high cost areas are, and other types of analysis. A building or buildings summary. Quite often a bill might be for one building, but sometimes for several buildings. So you might require a summary and an output for that. And also I've listed there annotation per building. So sometimes it's useful to have 3 or 4 buildings on one bill and actually have them identified as a total quantity, but have annotations in small parentheses for each, showing how much the quantity is for each particular building. If we consider the type of estimating packages that are available out there, some of these I'm more familiar with than others, and some of them you might have seen, some of them you might not have ever heard of as well. But there's several here. CostX is used by several quantity surveying firms and contracting firms. BuildSoft is one which I'm extremely familiar with and have used a lot of. Data Build. Prism, and again, Prism is one of these single software suites that does several functions and is very popular in some areas. Cordell's, CSSP, and Everest. Again, they have some of these have different markets. Cordell's generally will venture towards more building contracting firms, whereas some of these others like CostX, BuildSoft, CSSP might gravitate towards more quantity surveying, cost engineering firms. A small software package there called Solo Assist, which is a small to medium-sized building firm. It's primarily aimed at, and Sage Estimating, which used to be Timberline, a very extensive and well regarded piece of estimating software from the United States. Completes the presentation now for topic 7, computer-based costing, and it's a good opportunity for you now to read over the study guide and refer to the subject text and the reading course materials. I've also provided some course web links for you to maybe look further into those building computer costing pieces of software if you'd like to as well. If you have any questions, you can email me directly. You can post a question on the Q&A forum, or otherwise have a discussion amongst yourself on the student forum.